One of the biggest construction projects on NDSU's campus right now is the STEM building. Set to open on the first day of classes spring semester, the STEM building brings in elements from different classrooms around campus, but also new ones. While teaching people to fly and flying himself is part of Vic's job and something he loves to do, he has a passion for something else that may surprise you. As Buddy the Elf says, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is to sing loud for all to hear. But when is the right time to do that? To most, a nickel doesn't seem worth a whole lot. But to a UND and NDSU fan and player,
they got us a couple times in the Fargo Dome, and we got them at Memorial Stadium.
The long-standing rivalry between NDSU and UND is nothing new. Before 2004, the game was one of the longest-standing football contests with 110 meetings since 1894.
He's got the first down and a whole lot more.
But in 1938, a new tradition was added on to sweeten the victory. To most, a nickel doesn't seem worth a whole lot. But to a UND and NDSU fan and player,
probably one of the greatest feelings I ever had was raising that nickel.
The nickel trophy.
Never felt so light.
NDSU has won it 30 times and UND 35. The longest streaks with the nickel have been 12 years on both sides of the ball. UND still holds their trophy from their 2003 victory. NDSU moved up to Division I that next year, and UND followed in 2008. But the two teams haven't seen each other since.
There it is. And here
now, fast forward 12 years, and it's time for a rematch. The trophy won't be played for this year, but the rivalry has been about more than some loose change.
It just went crazy because you could literally have no wins, and if you win that game, your season is made.
Current fans may not know just how heated this rivalry got, but that doesn't mean they don't have their opinions on it.
Yeah, North Dakotas should definitely be at each other's throats every once in a while.
In a lot of animosity towards UND when we don't even play them, so yeah, I don't think that's going to turn out all that great, honestly.
Even with all the hype and worry that's built into this game, one thing is for sure. This team isn't letting it distract them.
Everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, gives the Bison their best shot, and there's going to be no different this weekend. UND will be fired up, ready to play, and I think it's going to be a four-quarter great football game.
Cassie Rohlfing reporting.
It's good for the region as far as economic reasons go, and you know what, it's just good.
SU TV News. The next time UND and NDSU will face each other in football is in 2019. Kickoff for this Saturday's game is at 2:30 in the Fargo Dome.
Welcome back. He could be known as a jack of all trades. This 88-year-old is still pursuing his passion of two very different things.
SUTV News Director Cassie Rohlfing has more.
Victor Gelking has had a fascination with flying ever since he was 19 years old and fresh out of the Marine Corps in 1946. With his time flying, Victor, who likes to go by Vic, has had a lot of adventures.
Flying, I used to go into Mexico, and I spent time with John Wayne.
Vic wanted to share his love of flying to others.
I used to train pilots from here to California.
And he sure has spread that love far. He's taught at least hundreds of people, including me and fellow SUTV reporter Nate Manning. Oh, and did I forget to mention that he's also 88 years old and doing all of this?
Yeah.
While teaching people to fly and flying himself is part of Vic's job and something he loves to do, he has a passion for something else that may surprise you.
1, 2, turn.
Yeah, Vic is a dancer. Vic is a firm believer that learning to dance is a very positive experience for anybody.
You help the young, you teach them how to respect each other, you know, and I make sure they're real polite to each other.
Plus, he's had a few well-known students.
And I taught 8 or 10 of the football players in the last 2 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
Crockett, Williams, helps in sports. That's why Craig Bowl was one of these football players of his to get in my dance class. Because he knew it would help with footwork, you see.
The secret to 4-time national champions might just be with Victor Gelking.
I teach him. I told the coach, I said, the reason you won, coach, is because I taught your students how to dance.
Athletes aside, students keep coming to his dance class for more than just dance lessons.
He's the kind of guy I would feel like I would want him to be my grandfather just because of, like I said, he has so much life advice.
Cassie Rohlfing reporting, For SU TV News. Snapchat is no stranger to change, as the app has only been around for 4 years and has already seen updates in the double digits. Speaking of winter, it's only a matter of time before NDSU students will be putting on their snowshoes. NDSU's Division of Finance and Administration announced the protocol for campus operations on days winter weather plays a key part.
Abby Furchner.
And I'm Cassie Rohlfing. You may notice that the men of Bison football will be looking a little different this Saturday.
The Bison will be wearing matte green helmets for Saturday's Harvest Bowl game.
2 men were arrested at a Super 8 motel in Fargo last night. Charles Erdeman and Corey Stevens were charged in a drug bust with over $100,000 worth of drugs and weapons.